Hello?
Hello, hello.
Hello everybody.
Doing
Apologies,
it?
apologies for being a little bit late from our usual schedule.
Yeah,
But we're here now.
we are here now. I just closed the document that I'm working on. Off to a great start.
Exie!
Hello, hello. Did I say it like that?
Don't know.
Why do I do any of the things that I do?
Do any of us know?
Yes, hello chat. I have actually returned to Artstream.
Yes!
I
She's
was
it
gone
that
for
way.
a time.
It's that way. There she is! It's her! Return of the Queen! My partner in crime
Yeah.
has re-emerged from the hellhole of university.
just about.
Just about.
Just about. Just enough to inconvenience you. I think is what I said at the weekend. I've emerged just enough to be a pain.
Yes, and I said many things to you on the weekend. I could probably quote several of them, but a lot of them were in the voice of Bill Seacaster, and I already have a dry throat.
Oh my god. Well, yeah, we could talk about Fantasy High.
Yeah, I started watching Fantasy High, and it's great, and I love it.
I'm so glad you're enjoying it.
Yeah, I was glad to have Bill Seacaster in context, because I've mostly seen him out of context.
As he gets.
As much as he gets, yeah, obviously. Yeah. But mostly I only knew him out of context, and now I have context for him, which is just even more wonderful.
Better in context or better out of context?
Oh, it's actually a tough one, you know, because
actually a legitimate question.
It's a tough question actually, because out of context it's wild, but it's like so wonderful in context, because even in context it's pretty wild.
I think the only distinguishing factor is Fabian and Fabian's reaction to everything, and the context of Fabian makes him better.
Yes, actually.
Yeah, but if you don't know, Fantasy High is a D&D show. Very good.
It's very good. It's a D&D show that is literally like set in an American high school. But it's D&D, so there's orcs and elves and dwarves and people...
Barbarian classes.
Yeah, people take classes for their classes, essentially.
Yes. The central mystery of the missing girls.
Yes, there is a mystery afoot.
My Riz got gag little hat.
Love Riz.
Riz forever. Riz forever. Favorite boy.
I hope that there is more Tracker in my life.
There is.
Excellent. Yes.
There's an exponential amount of Tracker.
Yes. look, I'm sorry if this is spoilers, chat, but there is.
We're only halfway through season 1, so I'm saying that's like a good amount to not. We're not at any of the stuff that is like really like spoilery. So.
Yeah, that's. I don't know if this counts as a spoiler, but in one of the episodes, there is a werewolf lady, and I like her a lot, and I want to see more of her because I'm predictable. Because werewolves.
Tracker's great. Tracker comes more important.
Yes.
So. Yes, don't worry, there is more Tracker in your future for sure.
Yes. Wonderful.
I was like, when we were getting up to Tracker, I was like picturing her art of her in the like sleeveless moon shirt with all the wolves on it.
The 3-wolf moon. She has the 3-wolf moon shirt.
And I was like, oh right, I should have known who Blue's favorite character was going to be.
As soon as she was on the screen, I was like this.
Like, it's gonna be Jawbone and Tracker. They're gonna be Blue's.
I love Jawbone as well.
Jawbone's great. Jawbone gets better as well.
Amazing.
Favorite boys are Riz and Fabian, but my favorite character in all of Fantasy High, you haven't met yet.
Oh, exciting.
In fact, potentially one of my favorite characters of all time. In like anything. But that's that's season 2, baby.
Baby.
Right, I'm gonna put on a suitably atmospheric playlist for the shenaniganery that I will be engaging with this day.
Hell yeah.
God. I have just like a normal vampire playlist? Surely.
You have to.
Surely. There it is.
It's that way you use the Briarwoods playlist, which is also fitting.
Oh, that's true. I do have one. I have Briarwood's, Mara's, family.
Yeah.
I also just have a gothic one here. I like vampires. I don't know if anyone's heard. I don't know if anyone had heard this.
It's about as shocking as the revelation that I like werewolves.
That's the dynamic that we have. Not gonna alarm you, but I did just lose Wi-Fi on my laptop.
Whoops.
So we'll see how long this one holds up. If I drop suddenly, that's why. I feel like Mara's playlist is actively not helpful because Mara's hardly a typical vampire. That's my Briarwood's playlist. I haven't listened to this in a long time. There it goes. Let's turn my Wi-Fi on.
Hello, Das.
I can't say hi to Das because my Wi-Fi's gone. No.
No, you're still here presently.
Right, Das. It's because this is fine. My laptop that I'm running Discord on. This is not fine.
Oh dear.
Cecilia's having a hard time.
Cecilia.
Oh god. Oh, that song's been on my shit list this week. Here we go. There we go, I'm back.
Hey.
Wi-Fi adapter on and off again. Done. Solved. Okay. So, can I explain what the fuck's happening with me on the stream for the foreseeable future?
Hell yes, please do.
So, Blue knows some of this, but as chat might be aware from watching me try and do this for the last few years, I sometimes struggle. I want to write original things. I struggle to come up with shit just on the spot. So, I set out to find some kind of solution for this, and for a while I was throwing up different ideas, and I ran into a Twitter thread of solo journaling RPGs. Specifically ones that have a large writing component. So these are games that are designed to be played solo. They have large sections of prose. Most of them have some kind of letter writing or diary writing mechanic, and the idea is that you're left with a physical journal at the end in character in a lot of ways. And I have a bunch of them that I like that I now own. I found one that is called 1,000-Year-Old Vampire, and obviously I'm legally obligated. It's one of the most kind of well-known ones as far as I can tell. And the concept is exactly that. Become a vampire, and you live for a very, very long time. You chronicle the unlife of a vampire over the many centuries of their existence, beginning with the loss of their mortality and ending with their destruction. So you chronicle a vampire's entire life, basically. There's like a mechanics element to this, which takes it out of your control narratively.
Yeah, so there's like, I mean, I know it's not exactly the same, but it's kind of like choose your own adventure. So it is like a hybrid between, like, you know, like it is essentially like D&D without any players, because people joke, oh, if you were playing D&D without any players, isn't that just writing a book? And it's like, well, no, because obviously there's the random element in it, whereas this has got that.
The other one I was thinking about doing, I will have to do at some point, is called Sentinel. Is the idea is you're guarding some sacred place of your choice. That can be like a set of ruins or whatever. That one's also pretty sick. But this one I like because it's all gothic and horror-y.
Yeah.
I will also point out that this game interacts. The main mechanic of this game is normally something I would not touch with a mile-long pole. It is normally a subject that is a big no-go for me, but because it's just me, I feel like I can engage with it in a healthy way.
Okay, that's good.
Because the main mechanic of this game is memory management.
Oh.
So the kind of core idea of this game is that you live for millennia. There's only so much you can remember. And it is fun. A lot of it I'm having to remember on the fly because I read this rulebook a couple weeks ago. Yes, so as you go along, you have to get rid of memories. And that changes fundamentally your character. We'll get into in a minute because I need to make a character. Because obviously, what you remember, the experiences that you have shape who you are. So over time, the character will morph as you let certain memories go. It's spicy. I'm having to remember this on the fly. Yeah, the things that you manage in this game. But most of this is just me writing. Like, every time I have a prompt, and then I just write. That's most of the actual play. But there is some gamified things. So there is 5 things that you have to know about. One of them is memories, as I just said. The other one is skills. You gain these just by doing, like, by experiencing things in life. But unlike in like D&D, like, you have proficiency in athletics. If you gain a skill in this game, and skills is like kind of the wrong word. Sometimes a skill in this is like bloodlust.
Oh, right.
You know, it's like a thing you can do.
It's a little bit reminiscent of Traveller, because we did a Traveller character creation.
Very much.
Which was the character creation in Traveller is literally you live out a timeline of your character before you even get to play them, and you roll the dice to see what kind of thing, you know, do you get into college? What do you study at college?
Yeah.
You know, is it, and you roll and it's like, and it's like, I rolled too low. I can't go into college. I have not done the exam correctly, and it's like, oh well, balls. Yeah. I was gonna go into college, but now I can't. What am I supposed to do?
Yeah. The way they explain it in this book is they indicate what your vampire can do and what they might do. And what's interesting in this is once you use a skill, it is gone.
Oh.
Use it once. It's a one-time use. Yeah, and the way they explain this is of course entirely possible that your vampire might have skills that you do not want to use. Instead of fighting this, revel in the plight. And they go to help a friend out of a bureaucratic jam and find that the only skill they can check is rage or kill. So, like, it can put you into some shit, basically.
Right.
It's both good and bad. But, like, the prompts sometimes will be like, this is the situation, you must use a skill. You have to check one off. So that's the thing. Resources, in this game means anything from like an armada that you own to a book. Mm-hmm. This is a massive range. Characters, both mortal and immortal, which of course you live for a very, very long time, come and go. And then marks. I'm fascinated by marks because I don't understand why they're relevant.
Right.
Marks are literally physical, visible indications of anything. So, like, and normally things you want to hide. Anything that sets them apart from mortal people. So, like, for vampires, like, the classic one is the bite. Eyes that are blank, trailing spectres, ferocious scars. Mark is something that the vampire carries for their entire existence. So it's something you have to negotiate with. So, like, example marks, here we go. Bat wings.
Mm-hmm.
Halos. This one is just animals fear me.
I get that.
I can become a wolf or a rat. You know, like any physical thing, basically. You don't understand how they're relevant. We are gonna find out together.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I'm wondering if there's like a thing where like you might do something and maybe there's like a stress thing and it's like, oh, a mark becomes apparent because you can't keep it together. That's always.
Or someone notices a mark that you have, and that might be a thing for just like when you're writing. You know,
Yeah.
And a lot of them are just like, this goes badly, gain a mark. Some of the prompts are insane. Do you know what else I like about this book? This is a bit of a tangent, but I like because there is a lot of prompts in here. There's like 200 prompts because of the way that the progression works. But there is also an entire massive index of alternate prompts if the prompt upsets you. If it's a subject matter you don't want to go into, or if it's too gory or too horrific, you can just like pick an alternate one or roll an alternate one, which is nice because a lot of them don't have that. And in horror things, that's very useful. So, as I was saying to Blue off stream, is that the base set for this, before you even start working on your journal, you have a starting point. Which includes making who you are from the get-go, who you are. I will say from at the outset, who you are counts as a memory.
Oh!
You can get rid of it.
You can just straight up forget who you are.
You can forget who you are. So, we're gonna work it out. But we are gonna do some character creation. Yes, the first experience. I won't get into how experiences and memories are managed. I'll manage that on my end. Is a little different from most experiences in that it's a broad summary of the vampire's life before becoming an undead thing. The way this book is written, by the way. This experience will be slotted into the first record of the first memory. And then you make 3 mortals that had a relationship with your vampire before they were immortal. What I need to make. And then I believe I need to make an immortal as well. Who turned you into a vampire.
Ah, right.
I then need to choose 3 skills that are suitable for their lot in life, and 3 resources. So that will depend on what character we make. And then I make more experience, like 3 more experiences, so 3 more just life things. Yeah. So this is what I'm doing today, basically. Oh, and then I also need to make a mark. That is their, like, defining thing.
Yeah. So I'm guessing, like, the obvious and basic one is the whole, like, oh, you can't go out in sunlight, but you can be better, think of other things from that.
The example mark they give for a base one is horrific, so I'm not going to read that out. Yeah, once you've finished with your vampire, they will have 3 skills, 3 resources, a mark, at least 3 mortals, 1 immortal, and 1 experience for each 5 memories. So, memories total. So, who should I be for the next year?
Guess we're gonna find out.
Let's make character. How should I start this?
We love doing character creation on this stream.
We do. Where should we start? Should we start from a mark or work backwards, or should we... I already think I want to start from a kind of historical place, just because if this goes on for a long time, I don't want to go into future territory. I'm kind of thinking... what year would this be? This might be because I've been working on poetry all week, but I kind of want to make a poet vampire.
That sounds pretty cool, I'll be honest.
Making that not me is going to be fun. Hi, Frog.
Hello, Frog! And Heroine!
Wow,
hello! Everybody turned up all at once.
Party, the gang's all here.
Woo!
I'm thinking, like, where would this be 10? I kind of want to make I also want to kind of stick to classic. I kind of want to make a noble character.
Yes, that's because you understand very fundamentally what vampires are meant to represent.
I've got off about this before.
Yeah.
Just got done building my new desk. Hell yes.
Hell yeah.
So that would assume how many resources am I allowed? By the way, chat, feel free to like sound off on any of the shit I'm saying. I'm open for ideas. I'm building something collaboratively here for a second. How many resources am I allowed? I will also point out there is a collaborative version of this game. It is insane. It does exist. Yeah, the game ends when you must lose a skill or resource and you have none to use. I have 3 resources that I start with. So, assumedly, one of those resources is a manor house.
Girls just spent a very long time sort of explaining it, that the simplified version is kind of like a single-player, choose-your-own-adventure writing game.
It's called 1,000 Year Vampire. I will put a link to it in the chat.
It's probably what she's going to be doing for most of the potentially year or so on
Assuming
stream.
I don't die straight away, which I don't think will happen. It is probably going to be what I'm working on for a long time. The way it works, I'm definitely not stealing this for Pup. You would have to. It would be a long project to steal for a character for Pup. Yes, I will link. So I will link itch.io for this. If anyone wants to take a look at it, that is the itch.io. Obviously, I have a copy. I'm more than happy to show people. That's the actual like place you would go. If any of you want to try a solo journaling RPG that is not the one I'm working on, I will also send you the link for Sentinel, which was almost the one that I did, and I might do it after this one. The thing with 1,000 Year Vampire as well is just like physically it's gorgeous. The book they do actually make a print copy of this because it's absolutely stunning looking. I'll show you later. Yeah, okay, so I have an old manor house. So I'm assuming I have some kind of wealth. Do I want to be a lady vampire? I feel like I do. Just to go from something I understand. Yeah, resources can really be anything. It's anything that they have or that they value.
Again, reminds me a lot of Traveller when it was like, you know, you gain like an ally or you gain a rival, but it's like never dictated what that is. It's just like, you know, like you have a military incursion, gain 1 rival, and it doesn't really say. So it's like, is the rival someone from the military? Is the rival someone from the opposite side? And you end up making up things for your character.
I'm particularly fan of the whole noble thing with the castle because I think it's kind of a stereotypical vampire trope. The reason why I'm going with this is because there is the expectation that you will lose these things. You will never have these things for long. So I will lose this manor house. I'm a fan of Bohemian. Yeah, like Dracu's would be in the original book. Yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, I think I'm probably going to set this in just like a historical Britain just because that's easy to start with, but I'm for sure not going to end up there.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be pages where it's like, you know, you end up moving country and stuff, because you said you're basically chronicling an entire vampire's life. That could go on for hundreds of years.
Yeah, the idea is that it does. Yeah, give me a number between like 1 and 100 and I'll give you an example of a prompt. 65. 65. It. 75 is a weird one. Possession, I don't know whether it means like a physical object or a haunting there. A possession turns out to have financial value as an antique. Trade your oldest resource for 2 new ones. Then, so like every time you land on the prompt, it will change. So, if you experience intense regret over a resource you have given away or lost, do anything to get it back. Lose 2 resources and check 2 skills and get back 1 resource. Jesus. And bear in mind, you would have to write that. Like, so it's like, what did you lose? Go into the psychology of wanting it back, and the apparently just complete feralness you go into to get it back.
Yeah, that's the thing. This isn't like, you know, again, it's a writing game, so all of these prompts that you get, that's, you know, a writing
they'll
prompt.
sound super mechanical, but they will mean things.
They're meant to be a writing prompt, so, you know, much like how we would write, sometimes we'd write D&D fics about certain things that happen, like off-screen, perhaps. That's like all of this. So it'd be like, you know, if
roll for it, Darren, roll a d100 and give me another one. I'll give you another example.
So, you know, if we take Polite Princess for an answer, it's like, oh, okay, well, we're going to go into Neverwinter Castle and talk to Sildar about this particular topic. We would then, you know, Curls would then sit and write that. That would be the bit of narrative that she writes, and whatever the outcome is of that, obviously, then carries forward. You know, so, you know, gain ally, gain money, or whatever.
It's like gain an ally in this game. You make a whole person and you describe how you met them and why they matter to you, etc. With the expectation they will lose them as well.
Yeah.
75. This is interesting because the higher the number, the more likely it is to be a you die. Because progress, right? I'll explain how you advance, I guess, because why not? Oh, yeah. So remember what I said about it? The higher number is more likely to be like died. 75. An old friend or foe murders you in your sleep. What do you see in those seconds between dream and non-existence? The game is over.
Yeah. Game's over. Gotta write it, though.
Yep.
You gotta write that scene of what you see in that split second before you are murdered.
But if you lose the letter you have from a lover that you never opened in mortal life, even if you can't remember them, you know the letter exists and all you remember for the one you once loved. The thing they point out in this as well is you can gain skills from things and then forget the memory attached. So like, you can be like, I don't know, what's a good example? Like, can be like, oh, my old teacher taught me how to fence, and then you forget that your teacher existed. And so you can fence, you don't know why, and you have like a vague recollection of being something more to that, but you don't remember anymore. Again, normally I wouldn't touch this subject matter with a 10-foot pole, but I like that I can manage it. I can choose what to give up. But yeah, I went down to the bottom to see what happens if you hit 75 more than once. You don't. The game ends if you hit 75. Yeah, from like 72 over is more or less all you die conditions. Obviously, you could choose to pick an alternate one instead if you wanted, but if you wanted to extend it. But the way this works, so I'll explain how progression works, even though it won't matter to you, stream, and it's really me procrastinating from making a character. Is there's like 100 prompts in here. You roll, so you need a d6, a d10, which I'll probably get Blue to roll from now on, actually.
Oh, I'll keep my dice set on hand. I always have one right here. So there we go.
Today, but will from now on. You roll a d6 and a d10, and you subtract the d6 from the 10. Positive number moves you forwards, negative moves you backwards. You can't move past 1, obviously. You just encounter 1 again. If you get a 0, you stay on the same prompt. When you land on the prompt, resolve the first entry. If you land on it again, you go to the second one, etc. And that's how you advance. So you can go backwards, you can regress. It's like number 1, the first prompt in this book. Ready? And bear in mind, this could be the first thing that happens to you. You make your character, you make your associates, you make your world state, essentially. Prompt 1. In your blood hunger, you destroy someone close to you. Kill a mortal character. Create a mortal if none are available. Take the skill Bloodthirsty.
Oof.
So it's not only do you kill someone close to you, you gain the ability to do so again. In fact, you gain essentially a time bomb before you do so again.
Yeah, as I assume Bloodthirsty is one of those skills where it's like, if the game tells you to, you have to use it.
Yeah, and again, they don't tell you what these skills do. So like, Bloodthirsty is up to you.
It's a
So
prompt.
if
It's a prompt word.
Like, it's a prompt word, yeah. Some of the skills are weird. And you can also sometimes it'll just be like gain a skill, so you can make that shit up. It gets crazy in here. Okay. I feel like should I pull Xanathars out? Might be a way to do this, huh? I feel like I need a basis. Do I stick with the poet idea, chat? Make someone else. So yes. Yes, but. Yeah, I have to. This is something else I have to think about. Is, or like, I have to make an immortal character. I have to make the one who turned them. Oh fuckos! Look who it is. Hi, Kay.
Hello, there he is.
Vampire character creation.
What up?
Let's keep the poet. Byron, if they were vamp. Frog, you look directly into my brain. I literally am like, I'm going for like post 1700s, just because I want to have them be aware of the romantic period, shall we say? Like, yeah, your Byrons, your Shelleys, your Keats, because as well they'll be around long enough to see like Wilde show up, like the whole poetic movement that I like, the whole poetic period that I like. If we're doing Byron if they were a vampire, we're making a thought. I'm okay with this. Again, none of this is static. Are we making like, oh, this could be interesting. What if we did like a vampire who lives like this crazy life of excess and is turned by someone to like teach them a lesson?
Maybe.
To make them into a better person.
Oh, if you're gonna do this on Art Stream, what if we make like a vampire character who has voices in their head, and the voices are chat?
I'm up for this.
And that means that if you want, then chat can play a part in giving you ideas.
I'm up for that.
What do you think, guys?
Well, if that's gonna be, can I make that a mark? Can that be the mark?
Can that be a mark as you hear voices in your head?
I'm just checking to see if it has to be things that are visible. I don't think it does, or at least it could be. I could make that visible.
Yeah, because then you can make it a bit like Kid, where if there's a voice in his head,
yeah.
they openly respond to them. So you know, somebody in the chat says something, and the character in the writing responds to it.
Sounds good, sounds good. So Byron was wild, Lovelace was told not to read poetry in case they went down the same road. I'm very aware of this, because one of my characters in my back pocket is a character called Wild Lovelace. Not poetry. Chat is a big fan of this idea. Okay. I'm gonna make my mark constant voices which beg reply. I will give you all, by the way, they do give you like a guiding principle for character creation in this.
Mm-hmm.
They are pretty dark. But it's basically to stop you making a character that doesn't make sense in this world, which is it's kind of the way they put this. This book looks like a scrapbook, the guidebook for this, so it's kind of sticking out the side of a page, so you can ignore it if you want. Vampire, you'll follow through the narrative. How they manifest is up to you, but the 1,000-year vampire makes several assumptions To get the best out of your experience of this game, your vampire should prey on human beings for sustenance. No backdooring. Should seek to camouflage themselves among those on which they feed, i.e. should pretend to be human. Should have been human once and still have human needs in one sense or another. So the desire for human connection, etc. Should be susceptible to environmental dangers that regular mortals might not care about, like sunlight. Should be practically immortal. Should be mostly a loner.
Right.
The prompts of Thousand Year Old Vampire are not necessarily geared towards complex political machinations, etc. But the voices talk to each other. Are they forced to listen to the arguments? I think so. Most slight delay might be getting things in the wrong order. That's fine. Actually, on what we're creating a dude in, we're making a character which I will be writing the journal of for the next year. They are a vampire. But this is the thing. Just because they have to be a loner doesn't mean they were when they were human. I kind of like the idea of a character who was a wild, crazy... that was accidentally a double joke. Crazy, like, socialite in life. And that has had to retreat into that. This is very Lady of the House of Love. Had to retreat into their manor because they have been turned into this creature of the night. I'm a big fan of this. Okay. Big fan of this. Kind of want to make skills really quickly. Some of the example skills are wild. Because some people write in a weird way.
Oh, many people present tonight.
Where all old ass vampires rich? Give me more poor vampires. Don't get me started on this. Most vampires are rich because they're symbols of perverse decadence, basically.
Yeah, that's Kels could go into this far too in detail, but...
Too much.
Yeah, old ass vampires are rich because that's what they're meant to represent.
They're meant to literally feed upon the poor.
Aww, Das! Aw, thank you so much! Mwah. That's really sweet of you, thank you. It means a lot.
Yeah. Middle class vampires? They do exist. They very much exist. Oh, I didn't even mention... We're not going to get into what diaries are in this game, but that confuses me a little bit. We're going to learn. Okay. Basically, there is a way to make memories permanent in this game. Basically, commit to writing it down. Whatever you write down is all they remember. So if you write it down wrong... Skills can be what?
Yeah. This is like, it's like taking notes in D&D. It's like, you know, if you don't write this...
When I take notes in D&D. Yeah. I've forgotten, but my notes say this.
If you don't write it down, then it basically didn't happen.
I'm gonna make one of my skills Smooth Talker. I think that's fun. My same as usual, posting more green. Could you post screenshots? Yeah.
Hey.
I yesterday committed to starting my Heaven's Ward replay, and let me tell you, have been some screenshots. Replaying Heaven's Ward after you finish Endwalker is an experience. Okay. So, we've got no closer to making our character, in terms of, like, defining characteristics, per se. But... should we make one that turned them? I feel like we have a sort of... Excuse me. Remembering what I've got to do for setup. There we go. So, what kind of... Here we go. Bombarding. Is this vampire a lady or a dude or another boy? I say that in the nicest way possible. I don't actually know, because I'm up for whatever. I was kind of assuming I was going to make a lady vampire. I'm actually making a dude. What do you think, chap? This place is so long. This is a wild throwback. Roll with a d6. There must be something going around. Debbie's been watching Vampire Diaries. Yeah, this is just a constant for me though. This is just my life. I've mentally set the parameters for what this is. A lady vampire.
Yes. And for those who missed it, we came up with the idea that they should have voices talk in their head, and those voices are going to be you, the chat, which I think is, I mean, maybe shoot my own horn, I think that's a great idea. Thank you, I came up with it.
Take that one. So, okay, they recommend you do this last one. I actually want to do it first. We've got this lady, this noble lady who's lived this incredibly decadent, interesting life, is a poet. What kind of person turns that person into an immortal? Specifically gives them, like, curses them with constant voices in their head. And have an initial idea, which is, again, going back to my whole idea of someone who is very moral, is trying to teach them thing. To teach them to be, I don't know, it's trying to punish them for their wickedness. We're getting into some kind of spicy religious territory, but... Where is that? I'm going on the ye olde name generator. See, name generator, thank you so much. Someone who asked them for a charitable donation and saved some kids and was rejected, maybe. Going for like a beast from Beauty and the Beast origin? I'd be up for that. One who comes in from the, comes in from the woods and begs of a small boon and is refused. I'm up for that, for sure. Okay. I'm gonna make 2 different categories for characters. Immortal character. So we're going for immortal here. Ooh. Imagine if each of the voices is her, each of the voices is her imagination of the souls of each person she has killed in her bloodlust. A curse on her to teach her a lesson.
Ooh.
Or a socialite who curses them out of spite, or a religious zealot / monastery who curses them over the sin of gluttony or pride. I'm up with that too. All this money is now completely mental by the voices that torment them. Yeah, that's the vibe. Okay. I like the idea that maybe it's just like one voice in the beginning, and then the more people that she loses or kills, it just adds for this. I think, yeah, this idea of someone who punishes them for their pride and gluttony is a good idea. I'm on a gothic name generator right now, and it's just insane.
Go on, give
It's
us
just
some
not
class
even like
choices.
good names. Don't even know how I would say them. That's. I do like that. How would you say that? Amalindis? Amalindis is pretty cool. But some of these are like Missend, Alberga, Educinda. Just words that you're putting next to each other. Melindis is a fun one though. Is a guilty conscience? I could be a little bit then. It can be multiple things, that's the fun thing. Way I'm wording these, by the way, is insane. I'm wording these in like very spooky, gothic-y, poetic kind of ways. Amalindis, who afflicted the ultimate punishment upon the undeserving soul, the curse of loss. So we have an immortal. I'm okay with leaving them as sort of like a fantastical thing, but for the rest of characters we should keep them somewhat rooted in. We don't have to, because who the fuck cares? We're gonna have to make multiple immortals, you don't know. I'm gonna have to make multiple immortals.
Oh, there you go then.
For now, that is my one immortal enemy, essentially.
Mm.
So, I need 3 people, mortal people, normal people, that she knew in life. So, I feel like if we're having a Byron-esque, we need some kind of jilted lover character. Because... why not?
Mm-hmm.
Fun, it's drama.
It's about the drama, darling.
Drama. So some of these characters can, betray you, etc. So... yeah, I should say, yeah, if you can include these characters forever. These are essentially just your casts. You know. Occasionally you might realise that a mortal must have died at old age by this point. Happens every 4 or 5 prompts. The feeling the jilted lover is the first victim. We haven't rolled yet. I haven't had to kill this person
It's
yet.
not guaranteed.
It's just, they're gonna die, it just depends whether or not I kill them. The lover was the lady bodyguard or something? Oh, you're talking my language.
A man of taste.
Yeah, I'm just going for that. I'm not even letting you guys contribute. I'm taking that and I'm doing it. Only because I've been watching Crown of Candy.
Oh, God.
I love... one of the player characters is Sir Theobald Gunbar, who should be everyone's favourite as far as I'm... well, Lupin should be everyone's favourite, but second favourite. Theobald Gunbar, who is, like, Knight of the King, like, loyal to the royal family, and it's made me want to play that kind of character so bad because it's so fun to watch every fight be an absolute moral dilemma for him. To be like, I have my orders. What do I do? Candy's very good. It's very stressful, but it's very good. So D&D. You want to watch that?
Fantasy Heart
It's
is
Game
really
of Thrones,
good.
but it's fun. So, yeah. It's really good. What do I reckon? any Dimension 20 show is really good. So I put a character in my character list that is the constant guard, always at her side, who has been distant since she gave her heart to someone else. Need 2 others. So should we have a family member of some sort? It's the first Space Series video from D20 the other day and I loved it. Starstruck Odyssey is going really well. Starstruck Odyssey is... it's honestly impressive to watch that level of disaster. I wouldn't say it's chaos, because they're certainly making attempts at things, but they are profoundly chaotic. Speaking of, yes. Okay, I know exactly. That's Riva. They are, they're a fish. They're a psychic fish person who, because they're incredibly empathic. The moment they left their home world, tricked into joining an MLM. It's one of the characters that exists in Starstruck. Just one of the player characters.
I'm gonna go top up my water because my glass is empty. While I'm at it, I'm gonna do this.
So that it's on Dropout behind a paywall. It is sad, but if you watch a lot of stuff on Dropout, you totally understand why it is.
Be right back, chat. Keep vibing.
Yeah. I have to drink water. Yo, chat, what relation am I making? The sibling is a younger sister? Spicy. Oh, I do like that. A younger sibling, potentially a sister. I'm okay with that. Sort of a difficult relationship of perhaps cares for the sister, but lives a sort of life she disapproves of. I'm okay with that. Ooh, a cousin that was next in line for the family fortune but was fucked over by your character. That's good, Das. I'm about to say I'm saying to Blue, even though you can't hear Blue. Blue, boiling water, 3 minutes. Boiling the whole time, just make sure it's boiling when it goes in. I don't know what you might have done, Blue. Blue's Blue's accusing me of implying that she's stupid. Eggs? No, bubble tea. So who boils an egg for 3 minutes? It's not what's next in line for me. Okay, so soft scramble, dude. Okay, so if we So should we combine the two ideas? I like the younger sibling. I also like the kind of got fucked over a little bit. So I'm gonna go for sort of a interesting younger sister dynamic where they want the noble line to themselves. Choice, Kay, to come into this chat and lecture everyone about how to cook food in a way that's good. Enjoy this brainstorming thing. It's fun. Making stuff like this is basically the best as far as I can tell. You need 2 other skills, and I'm really not sure what is useful and what is not. So let's go fucking. We can go way off the reservation if we want. Collaborative brainstorming is dope as fuck, yeah. I feel like I should go for something, I'm gonna call it, like, friends in poetic places. You know what that means. 3, right? I need one more. I need another skill. I've got smooth talker, friends in poetic places, and then I need one more. I'll go random for this. Go a little bit off the expected. Again, for you who weren't here, skills, you use them and you can never use them again. Examples they give are like swordplay and operate heavy machinery. I teach. What do you mean by that, Trips? Something like bureaucratic in nature? What do you mean? Something like something administrative? I'm half tempted to make it just something like can hold liquor. Vibe, maybe? I'm also tempted to make it something like just like can ride a horse, just like horse riding, maybe? Something that's very useful. Like meticulous, you mean, Tribs? Still need 2 other resources. Didn't even realize that. Describe what I'm trying to get at. I kind of get what you mean. Naren flexing in the Final Fantasy chat. I can't look at Discord right now. I'll look later. I think I'm also gonna go for resources. Letters of a romantic nature. Because in this sort of era, those sort of things were very important. Smutty letter, yeah, kind of. And I can use that for good and for bad. I need one more skill, one more resource, and one more mortal. I feel like I know what kind of mortal character I think. I think I want I think Frog brought it up earlier, this kind of socialite, like someone in her kind of describe resources. Resources can be anything that is owned. Like the examples I've got is like an old manor, the manor house itself, illicit letters, and what's the other examples they give? Any item that is useful or has value. So it can be knight honors, loyal imp, diamond tiara, castle, a business empire, a lucky penny, be anything, a Roman legion, silvered key to a treasure vault, acid, a box of tallow candles. Literally be anything. Mortal, I'm gonna make.
Hello, I return.
Hello.
Hi, I'm back. I have a warm beverage, which is not normally my beverage of choice. I may not like this.
Same.
Currently, it's too hot to drink.
Oh yeah.
It has no milk in it, so it hasn't been cooled down.
Yes, it takes a long time to cool down. Just like someone who discovered what they are and their line is sworn to destroy them. The only reason I'm hesitant to make that an existing character is A, they have to have known them before. B, I will probably gain someone like that.
Yeah, something like that could happen naturally.
Okay, I've made the last mortal character. Okay, so our three mortals are the constant guard, always at her side, who has been distant since she gave her heart to someone else. The youngest sister, the only other remaining of their line, and perhaps a better candidate for the noble seat. And third, the most outrageous of her friends, useless in most respects aside from those of literature or booze. Because I think it would be fun to have a disaster bard in here somewhere. And then obviously immortal Amandus, who inflicted the ultimate punishment, etc. We'll go into that later, Death. The skills, I have Smooth Talker, Friends in Poetic Places, which basically I interpret just to be like, she needs to contact anyone, or perhaps that could be a bad thing, depending. But I need a third skill and a third resource, and then I need to get into memories. It involved me doing things like naming this character. That's not something I would watch or read the hell out of. There'll be something to read at the end of it, in theory.
Have you thought about what you'll do with the end product? You know, I'm assuming this will be.
Depends how it goes.
Yeah, I assume this will probably be like semi a Google Doc thing. So will it be like a thing that is made
It depends
readable?
if I end up making it a physical thing.
That's true, because you were considering buying a notebook.
I like the idea of having a thing at the end. Instead of just having Google Docs. help me come up with a skill.
A skill.
I was tempted to make this one something a little bit more practical. I think horse riding was the idea I threw out.
Calligraphy.
It's both related to kind of what the Trips was getting at in chat, but also it's a fantasy hijack.
Looks at camera.
I don't even know why that's important yet. Well, you kind of do, but you haven't put it together.
I've had a vibe. You found
archery. Archery is one I will probably gain.
You find it in something in your locker. The calligraphy on it is very nice, and I was like,
I can connect these things. Okay, I need one more resource. Again, resources can be anything. Oh, interesting. Hang on a second. Okay, there is a difference between stationary resources and normal resources. So I might not be able to have the mana as a resource. Check. Well, I can have the mana as a resource as long as I'm okay with losing it, I guess, which I am. Very aware that these kind of games tend to end, like, as for a couple of them that I've seen, they tend to end with you living in some kind of strange cave in some obscure part of the world. Sentimental, Jewel walking came from her father. Yeah, let's go. Oh, excuse me. Music box? Oh, I'm a big fan of a music box because I'm a Daisy fan. Okay. Skills, resources, yep, that's all my characters and my marks. So, almost done. Vampire creation. Right, I need to make sure I've got my memory set up together. This is the only bit of actual finicky admin you have to do. Five memories that can have 3 experiences. Okay. This is the only bit that's a little funky to me. It makes sense why it's set up this way. Okay. So okay, cool. Okay. Okay, so cheapos for one day, never enough. Okay, start your memory and your experience. Okay, first memory is a little. First experience is a little different than most experiences in that it's a broad summary of the vampire's life before becoming an undead thing. Normally, I am blank of blank. Okay, so it'll be I am. Oh, I've got my caps lock on. I am. The name in a second. am blank. Oldest of an ancient line has descended into frivolity under my name.
Come here,
Oh
child.
my god.
Come here, child. Come see mummy. Here she is. Here she is.
Hello, hello.
Hello. Hello, girl.
Oh, it's time for this bit that sucks. This character needs a name.
Health check from Core.
Yeah, I see that.
Just in time for a baby.
A baby.
Okay, had enough now. Run then.
My instinct is always to go for some kind of mythological name.
Mm-hmm.
Which I could do. How about Steve?
Steve.
Give me a contribution call. The vampire name generator is very good. Sus? That's very funny.
Hey.
You should be called Beatrice. Explain yourself. It's not gonna happen, but explain anyway. Pandora. Go for Pandora. One of the suggested names is just Calamity. Maybe not.
Little chill on the nose, don't you think?
Genevieve.
Amelia?
Do you know I was also thinking Amelia?
Clusters here again, boys.
I was trying not to do Amelians. Yeah, I think Amelia. It'd be nice to have a character with a normal name. That's very true. Also, if I'm making this like an old fantasy British family. Also, unfortunately, this surname close to Amelia.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is that a reference I am yet to understand?
Right. I'm going for Amelia though, because it was the first one I thought of, so I can't really resist that. Need like an old British sounding surname. Alias? Alicis? Too much. Doesn't sound British enough either. Welcome to a life hack, everybody. If you need a name that sounds like an old British family, is kind of antiquated, look up the list of members of the House of Lords.
Ah.
Just standing around and someone came up and waved and winked at me. That is the Final Fantasy experience. Conway's a good name. Character is it that has the surname Con? It can't be character. One way. Unliving way, or is that too on the nose? I hate you, Darren. Jason, that was pretty good. I can't use Elder because I have a different character whose surname is Elder. Fortunately. What's the name? Might do a real reference here, hang on. What is the name? Harold, that's it. Okay. 3 candidates for surname. Bunny, Inmere, Tyrrell.
Once more?
Bunny, Inmere, Tyrrell.
Do you type this out in the chat for me? And also for chat's benefit.
That's where I wished the one.
Linmere. Amelia Linmere.
That's pretty good.
Amelia Burney, Amelia Tyrrell.
Linmere, one for Tyrrell, another one for Linmere.
I think I'm also leaning to Linmere.
Like Linmere?
Amelia Linmere.
It's a very good name.
Sounds good.
Character might forget it.
Oof.
Yeah. Amelia Linmere. We have a name. Okay. We have a name. I'm Amelia Linmere, the oldest of an ancient line that has descended into frivolity and decadence under my rule. Nice. Okay. Do the mortals, which I've done. I want you to know this is actually in the character creation how they tell you to do this, right? Next, create 3 mortals and add them to the vampire's record sheet. These mortals will have a relationship with your vampire, relatives, friends, lovers, enemies, mentors, debaters, anything. Anything else appropriate for the time and place you have chosen. Describe each character in a few words. Know that these characters can and should be very important, but they will not be around for long. Okay. For a vampire to be 3 skills, fitting for their lot in life, and 3 resources. Resources could be anything. Resource is a resource, whether it's an obsidian knife or a fleet of warships. There we go. Create 3 more experiences. Here we go. Each should be a different memory. Oh, interesting. Okay. Each of these experiences should combine 2 vampire's traits. Oh, okay. So one of these experiences would be something like, that she lives in the old manor with her sister. Like, it should combine 2 things and be like, I have this thing, and they're connected for this reason. It's write down the people he loves so the DM may murder them in a soul-wrenching manner at a later date.
Yeah.
Literally this, but I am the DM. I have to name the sister as well already. Trying to get away with not naming the other characters that we've made. I think for the experience I need to, because I was gonna put, I was raised in Limmer Manor with my little sister.
Blank.
So she needs at least a first name. Little sister name, everybody. I just pull out Xanathars and roll for it.
Yeah, it's got names in it.
It'll be classic me with Xanathars though, where I'll roll it and go, I don't like that.
Well, that's good because you'll narrow it down.
I should say, by the way, I might not always on stream. I will probably always be working on this, but I might not talk about it depending on what I roll.
Right.
So if I roll a particularly heavy prompt, I won't talk about it a bunch in chat. I will work on it. Here we go. Human names. Give me just British, please. English, female. Blue, would you roll me a D100, please? Actually, roll it twice, so I at least have 2 to pick from.
Okay, 1D100 coming up. Okay, 37. And a 48.
Zell.
Zell.
Oh, I like that.
That sounds.
Giselle.
That's. Oh, Giselle. Oh, yes, that does. Amelia and Giselle.
That's. Oh my god, this is such. This is such a fairy tale. I'm a big fan of this. The reason why we're not doing the other one you rolled is because it's my name.
Oh, that's wow. What are the chances? 1 in 100, apparently.
It's close enough to my name, I should say. It's not actually.
It's close enough that you feel uncomfortable.
I would be like, oh no, thank you. My name is on that table.
I think mine might be as well. I don't remember now.
It is, yeah.
It's been a while since I looked at it.
Keep going to type Lovelace instead of Limmer. Different character, self. This one I've gone for is combining the manor with the sister, which is I was raised in Limmer Manor with my little sister Giselle, and knew very little outside of these walls and rose trellises until I came of a fashionable age.
Sounds good.
Good. Okay, so I need to combine. If I've combined a character and a resource, I feel like calligraphy and illicit letters want to go together naturally. actually going to combine 3. I really shouldn't, but I'm going to combine it with the guard as well. Which means they also need a name. I also need to decide whether it's gay. I feel like the answer is yes.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Like, you know what? If I'm writing this, I might as well. I've already... The 3 names that I chose from, I already stole them from Camilla, so... I've already started from a queer place. We may as well commit. So... use a different table? No. Or maybe I will. Give me 2d100 again, please.
2d100 again. 16.
Okay.
34.
The one we just had.
We had 37. Okay. We had 37. Just I can roll another one.
Yeah, roll another one. See, those names are all kind of very similar.
55.
Better. Thank you. Ooh, I'm kind of looking on more than one table here as well. 5. Above this is Helen, and I like that. 16 is either Avis, Anne. It's all A names, and I feel that's too close to Amelia. 55 across a couple of tables are like... Lever is a weird name. So apologies if these are any of your names, I should say.
If they're in alphabetical, then try 92. I just rolled. That's lower. That's a lower number on the table.
2. What's 92 on this table? Tadilia. A name. Looking at the French one as well as the English one. Tadilia. That feels like it's from something. Sedalia. Am I reading it wrong?
Don't know.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell you, friend.
Kind of fun. Nice chair. I'm looking on like 4 or 5 different tables here. Also sell. Rania? What a name. Good ones. Tove. Tove's fun. Moshe. Has connotations now. Massa is a fun one. Yeah.
Yeah, loved it very much. Excellent boy.
Yeah. Isn't the one you rolled, but I've seen the name Lynette on this list, and I'm kind of taken with it.
If you're drawn to it, then go for it. Remember, you may potentially need a lot of names.
That's very true.
So if you want to start, making a list of names that you like we do when we DM.
I'll find ones. need what, one more? 3 more, yeah. Each of them should be a separate memory, so they have to be a different subject matter. Okay. I'm gonna go for... I know what I'm doing for this one. God, I need another name. You were right.
I told you.
That's why name tables are useful, everybody. Name generators.
That's why one of my top tips.
People are gonna die in this game.
One of my top tips for DMs is make a list of NPC names that you can use. Hello there, Sylvie the Velociraptor. Nice to see you.
Oh, welcome aboard.
And thank you very much for following.
Might roll. I won't write it tonight, but I might roll to see what the first prompt is tonight, and then just write it down and leave it. I'm curious. See where we're gonna start. Sick. Hey, I think I have done this.
Oh.
So, we have... You're finished, they should have vampire skills, which I have. 3 resources, which I have. Mark, at least 3 mortals. Interesting they put it that way. Immortal. An experience for each of their 5 memories. Oh, I'm down in memory. I'm down in experience. Okay, that doesn't make any sense. 3 should have that. Oh, I'm missing something.
What are we missing?
Oh! Create an experience that can explain how your vampire became a creature of the night.
Right, oh, right, yeah. that bit.
But what happened to you?
Oops. Wrong button.
As Ashton would put it, you're a vampire. The fuck is up with that? I have stretched the rules a little bit because he's meant to only be one sentence, bitch. Okay. Oh, I've done it. Should have 3 skills. Yes. 3 resources. Yes. Immortals and immortal experience in each of the memories. Okay. All set. My 5 memories that I currently have, or my 5 experiences. There's a difference between experience and memories in this game. We're not going to get into it. 5 experiences that she has. I'm Amelia Lemire, the oldest of an ancient noble line that has descended into frivolity and decadence under my rule. I was raised in the Lemire manor with my little sister Giselle, and knew very little outside of these walls and rose trellises until I came of fashionable age. I started writing letters to my first love, Sir Lynette, sneaking them into her pockets as I passed in the halls. My letters are hardly as exclusive these days. I met Bobby in London, the most debauched party I've ever seen, and he has introduced me to every poet under the English sun, for better or worse. The greatest party of the spring, Amalendis walked into my life and begged a glass of wine. When I refused, they cursed me with immortality and the constant voices.
That's you!
Is the person we have made. Skills, smooth talker, friends in poetic places, calligraphy, resources, an old manor sitting in the wilderness, illicit letters of a romantic nature, a music box with a tune from the time, a gift from parents long gone. Characters, mortal. Sir Lynette, the constant guard always at her side, who has been distant since she gave her heart to someone else. Giselle Lemire, the youngest sister, the only remaining of their line, and perhaps a better candidate for the seat. And then Bobby, the most outrageous of her friends, useless in most respects aside from those of literature or booze. And then immortal Amalandis, who inflicted the ultimate punishment upon the undeserving soul, the curse of loss. And then Marks, constant voices which beg reply and will not accept silence. Who needs to build a bear? We have build a vampire.
Hey!
Yeah, I would just read this paragraph. To play a 1,000-year-old vampire, you answer a series of prompts. Answer these prompts to learn about your vampire, experience their travails, and be surprised by their doings. Responding to the prompts in a satisfying way is the joy of the game. You can answer them however you like. To number them to keep your chronology straight. In the process of answering prompts, you create, lose, and alter your vampire's traits. So, shall we roll just to see where we start?
Sure.
And hopefully by the time we do this next week, I will have an actual book. That's the goal. So I'm starting... So, do you want to roll both, Blue, or do you want me to roll one and you roll the other?
You roll one. I don't want to do everything.
Do you want the D10 or the D6?
I'll take a D6.
10. Ready? Roll.
3.
4. So did we just legit get a 1?
Da da da!
So we've successfully demonstrated foreshadowing. In your blood hunger, you destroy someone close to you, kill a mortal character, create a mortal of none are available, take the skill Bloodthirsty.
Cool. We literally said that the people we were making were probably going to die, and it happened immediately.
This is the one I read out earlier as well.
So what happens, guys? The first piece of the story that Curls has to write is a character murdering one of these people.
I feel like it's either got to be Lynette or Bobby. But it could be any of them, honestly.
It could be any of them.
They're all really good.
Either you can choose or you can roll. It depends how you want to play it.
Yeah. You leave this for next week, or do I decide this now? What do we think? Decide this now. I almost want to make chat vote, but I don't know how many people are here.
I mean, we could try it. I don't know how many people actually are here at the moment. I think a couple of people might have pieced out a little bit.
It's fine. I'll tell you what, we won't do that.
Because I think there is a Twitch thing where I can make a poll for the chat.
Should be able to do it if you can.
Manage poll.
Can?
Yeah, create poll. Question: who dies?
Who dies?
We are not obligated to respect the decision of the poll.
Right, but we will be interested. Lynette, which is the guard.
Lynette.
Giselle, who's the little sister.
I apologise if I spell these horrendously wrong, girls.
Doesn't matter. Bobby, who is her disaster friend.
Okay, duration 3 minutes. Who dies?
Who dies?
Stop poll.
Okay.
Okay, it says poll created.
Okay, it's at the top of the screen. I think I can also vote, so I can throw my 2 cents into this.
I got a little ticky timer ticking down.
Yeah. Okay. Who do I want this to be?
I have a feeling I know where the chat may go because of the drama.
Ooh, interesting. Okay.
I can't vote as the person who created the poll.
You have an opinion, though?
My opinion is I would go for Bobby because I feel the other two are closer and thus have more potential for later on because this is the start.
Right. 2 for Lynette, 1 for Giselle, and 1 for Bobby.
Lynette. I knew you were gonna vote that way, chat. I knew that you would do that. My vote's
Bully's just gonna bully you now.
I knew you would choose Lynette, but I choose Bobby because I think if Lynette dies now, it means we don't get that sweet pining later on. I'm playing the long game.
This is exactly what I wanted to happen when I decided I was gonna do this, by the way. I wanted people to be like, I'm invested now.
Looks like we've got about a minute remaining. I can't quite tell. I haven't got a timer. I've got a bar.
We're just over halfway.
Yeah. The bar is about halfway.
I did wonder. I was going to mention polls earlier, but I thought that was only a YouTube stream thing.
Yeah, it seems Twitch has got them as well. There was a new thing that I literally noticed before I start. I was like, on my little quick action bar, there's a bunch of new things. I don't remember all of these being here. Hello! Welcome to the stream. We are currently voting on who's gonna die, which is fun.
Yeah. There's a poll at the top of the stream. You have no context for this, but you can vote on who is gonna die and why.
Coles here has made a character, has made a backstory, has made characters in that backstory, and now the backstory has determined that one of them must die. So we're voting on who that's gonna be.
It'll be fun for it when I can't decide what to forget. I think it's gonna be oh. It evened out last minute.
Oh no! Few results.
50% Lynette.
50-50! You guys suck! God damn it! Hang on, it's 50. It's an even split all the way around because I couldn't vote for Bobby, but one of those votes is mine because I voted for Bobby. So everybody got 2.
Okay, so literally decided nothing.
You guys suck. Why do we ask you for anything?
We love you very much. Thank you for coming to watch us.
Thank you. I love you. I love you a lot.
Oh, okay. I'm doing this next week, so I could make this a Twitter poll. Goes until next week.
This is true. You could provide a little bit more context on Twitter.
Yes, I can. Do we do that, or should I roll between Lynette and Giselle?
And Bobby, it was even all around.
I feel like
I'm seeing Bobby! Come on, man!
You want to kill Bobby so bad.
I feel like Bobby brings the least to the table, so I want him out of the picture first. I'm thinking of the long game. I think there is more potential in the future for drama between these people.
Okay. I'm gonna make this a thing. Okay. I'm gonna do this on Twitter. I'm gonna set a Twitter poll up. I'm not gonna write this until next week anyway. So I'm gonna set a Twitter poll up. Feel free to make your cases on Twitter for who because no one else will have context. I will put a bit of context in replies.
No, but Bobby isn't the bodyguard.
He is her best friend that is a little he's kind of the Jaskier of the friend group.
Yeah, whereas
the disaster bard.
Yeah, Giselle is her sister and Lynette is her love interest, who was the guard. And I think the sister and the love interest have more potential for later on. So I'm like, get rid of Bobby from the start. Let's get rid of Bobby.
I'm putting that on Twitter. You guys can quote retweet and make your cases for who you think should die. The better twist if it expects someone to die and then nobody dies or everybody. Yeah, unfortunately, I am doing a slightly gamified story system.
Yeah.
And they have the system I am using has decided that a character must die. That I must kill a character.
Yes, you arrive just after that.
We have to murder someone.
Yeah, you arrived just after that. We came to the realization that we have to kill someone.
Bobby kills the love interest. The prompt specifically says, in your blood hunger, you destroy someone close to you, like a character.
And then it says, it says kill a mortal.
And now, right now, it's happening. Excited for when this gets more established and we have decisions like this. I'm gonna change my vote, Bobby, and here's why. Bloodlust seems like something that would happen to a love interest, though. Core's got a point.
The man makes a good argument.
Who dies leading someone trying to kill you in recompense, and the bodyguard defends you. Away it goes.
See, this is what I'm talking about. If Bobby dies, then we have the potential for more drama from the other two.
Get a poll on Twitter, because I think it's fun to let you guys fight over this. I'm biased about the person with a normal name. Very fair. Spelled that wrong. Spelled my own character's name wrong. On brand. this is gonna be a fun time. What's been going on with you, Blue? I've caught up to the stream. What have you been drawing?
The girl. As is the nature of many things a lot of artists can understand, even though she is my longest and dearest character. Every time she gets drawn slightly differently.
Yep, that's how it goes.
Consistent style? Never heard of it.
Nope.
A lot more muscular this time round.
Blue can be buff as a treat.
Apparently so. It's one of those things where in my head I was like, yeah, mentally she probably is actually kind of strong. It just she never really gets drawn that way. Just one of those side effects of being one of my characters.
You've been drawing a lot of Tala lately. That is very true.
It's true. This is true. It's one of those things where it's like, I did always consider Blue to be reasonably strong, especially from my perspective, in that I'm a weakling, purely just because she is a wolf, and wolves are fucking massive and have a lot of muscle. But that was always sort of counteracted by the fact of like, well, she needs to be able to fly, so she can't have too much muscle, because muscle is heavy. But she got chest muscles, because that's where the wing muscles link. There's a little bit of magic involved though, so I don't need to be too scientific about it.
Okay. Twitter will not let me post this. Twitter is literally stopping me.
No, try again later.
Oh, is it because...
Is it because you put "who do we kill" in it? Does Twitter consider that too spicy?
Really not, I just censored it and it was still angry. Twitter doesn't like my vampiric nonsense. Pretty sure I didn't post, but it's kind of not to, you know. Post it, damn it. Literally will not let me. Do some strategic word changes, shall we, and see if it miraculously. Okay, that's not changing anything. It hasn't posted but not told me. Try and do this on my phone and see if it'll let me do it there. This is very funny. Tweeting this to the right account, oh no. Yeah. It'd be hilarious if I accidentally put this on my Final Fantasy alt. It's like, what are you talking about?
Calls us upset the algorithm, everybody.
Enjoy being unalgorithmable. Manually type this out in my penance. Group of vampire hunters that use ballistas to fire enormous stakes into the heart of vampiric giants. Jesus.
Wow.
And wording this makes it sound like a question on a U quiz. Oh, I need to make more U quizzes. Fun. Like there should be 6, right?